I'm Super Nintendo, and this is the Nintendo Direct. My thoughts on 5 video game topics in 5 minutes or less. Let's put 5 minutes on the clock and begin. Season passes are a bad deal. We're finally getting to the point where the vast majority of people don't pre-order games. There are still some cases where it's acceptable, like collector's editions, but pre-ordering to get your GameStop exclusive gun is becoming a thing of the past. But now we have buying season passes before all the content is out. Basically, you have the option to purchase the DLC before it's even announced for the price of about $20. Now when that DLC comes out, you gain access to it, and it's usually cheaper to pay $20 instead of getting it piecemeal, but the only issue is that we're giving devs free money for DLC that may take a year to come out, and if DLC isn't fun for you, you're not getting any refunds, which brings me to my next topic. Should video games cost more than $60? The justification for microtransactions and loot boxes and DLC is that games are much more expensive to make in modern day, and that $60 is too cheap, and we should be thankful that game devs aren't charging us more initially. And that if game devs just charge us $100 for a game, we wouldn't have all that stuff. And to that I say you should probably play a game called Lemonade Stand. It's a very basic introduction to business that shows you no matter the quality of your project being offered, there is a maximum that you can charge people before they balk at buying it. And $60 is that threshold. I'm sure that large companies like EA have market research that proves this is the case. It's the same for mobile apps. 99 cents is the threshold for impulse, and you'll be hard pressed to get a lot of people to pay $5 or more. If anything, video games should be cheaper as long as microtransactions exist. It's not like the $60 price tag matters. Some of these games go on sale 2 weeks after their initial launch. Super NT is the king of the clones. The follow-up to the NT, which played NES games in HD, the Super NT is making waves by being able to play Super Nintendo games in lag-free HD. This is pretty amazing since a lot of newer TVs don't support a resolution lower than 480p, and also it plays almost every Super Nintendo game available, which can't be said for a lot of systems that rely on emulation to dump the ROM and then play it that way. This is essentially a modern Super Nintendo. It's $190, and with no controllers, it's out of range for me because I have a CRTV and I also have 3 Super Nintendos. 5 if you count the 2 NES Classics I got. I think it's a pretty cool idea, and I hope they bring that tech to the Sega Genesis because that's one console desperate of a premium clone, and you have all these other Genesis clones that are garbage. People are liking the Wii U all of a sudden. It's weird when a new Nintendo console comes out, and it seems that Nintendo fans are the only ones who do this. This happened with the Nintendo 64, GameCube, Wii, and now the Wii U. During the Wii U's life cycle, fans had constantly bemoaned the low sales, low visibility, and low game library and demanded something better. Now we do have something arguably better than the Wii U, the Nintendo Switch, and now people are starting to come out of the woodwork to praise the Wii U. Don't get me wrong, I like the Wii U, but I'm a little irked when people waited this long, almost a year after the death of the Wii U, to come out and sing its praises. There are currently 3 groups of Nintendo fans. They're the ones who bought the Wii U and the Switch, those who bought the Wii U but refused to buy the Switch, and those who skipped the Wii U and bought the Switch. Now, I'm not sure why all the Wii U love is coming now. Maybe it's because the Switch is getting Wii U ports, but that shouldn't come as a surprise since more people bought the Switch in its first year than the entire lifetime of the Wii U. And now for my final topic, cheaters in old games. In 1982, a player named Todd Rogers recorded a time of 5.51 seconds in Dragster and then proceeded to post a ton of other crazy high scores on other games. This was later found out to be impossible after people started investigating into how he got those scores. So Todd got outright cheated, but Twin Galaxies, which is the authority on these high scores, should share some of the blame since they didn't investigate and in some instances allowed Todd to enter his own scores. Then you have Billy Mitchell of King of Kong fame, who has also had some of his scores disputed when it was discovered that some of his submitted scores were obtained on an emulator. Now this isn't a big deal, but Billy has always stated that he plays on original hardware. Again, Twin Galaxies took his word for it. So the question is why? I know as a kid I bragged about beating the 10th level of Super Mario Bros. Even though there wasn't a 10th level, or unlocking some super secret level, but these are grown men we're talking about who really only obtain the adoration of other nerds. And that's it for the Nintendo Direct. What did you think about these topics? What about this format? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. And if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, please subscribe. I'm Super Nintendo, and I'll see you next time.